Hi everyone, welcome to this week weekly market update. A short update for this week. So remember to follow me. If you have not, please remember to click the like button as well. Follow me in my Telegram, so I will provide weekly update and any opportunity during between the weeks itself. So last Friday, we know that it's actually a Easter day. Market close, but however, the data report earning still announced. So we can see that last Friday, right, job reported, the NFP, non-farm payroll is way better than the expectation from the analysts. They are actually expected around 600 plus, 675,000. That is by the economists. But then it was reported at 916,000. So it's much way better than the analyst expectations in the March on the March job itself. So beside that, the unemployment rate also fall to 6%. Is a decline, which is a good thing as well. So as the futures market, because the market is closed but the future is open, it show relatively quite good. S&P actually broke off 4,000. If you look at the chart itself later, we will talk about more on the chart itself. So how will it actually expect on this coming weeks, right? Things to take note is because people might actually prepare for earnings because economy calendar is thin for the coming week, but next week economy calendar is thin as well. But watch out that the following week is actually a heavy economy, heavy calendar, earnings calendar. Basically start from the banking sector once again. So JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, all this. If you are holding on any of the banking sector, then just do watch out as well. All right, it's the kickoff for the earnings seasons. So, however, the analysts, the economy is doing looking at a good side. Usually April is tend to be the good side. So we will see how it goes. If let's say you do not wish to trade during the earnings report, you can stay away. If you think that earnings is good for the coming seasons, then you may want to nimble it as well. All right. So so last week, as you can see, all the news is talking about the jobs, the earnings report. So nothing much. All right, but things to take note. Right now, I'm actually focused on two sectors right now. It's actually back to the cruise, carnival, and also one of the sector is back to the travel as well. So it's like if you are looking at Expedia, Booking.com's hotel resort, you may want to take note. Why? After all, yes, COVID Europe side is spike up, a lot of countries spike up, but ultimately vaccines also increasing. So you see, all right, COVID vaccination hit another record. So sooner or later, economy will return back. All right, economy will come back as well. So if you do not wish to be at the late to aboard the board on board the ship, right, you may want to start nimbling. I will show something as well. If let's say this company is relatively good because there is upfront supporting as well. So without further ado, like I say, it's a short one. Let's go directly to the market. All right, directly to the market first. Dow Jones, like I mentioned last week, based on Fibonacci extension, I'm looking at 1.618% is end at 33,500. So last Thursday, it closed at around 33,153. So I'm looking for another 350 points. I think it's achievable with a good result earnings. All right, plus with a good economy March reports. All right, I think it's quite achievable for the coming weeks. So this is my first target. And it's quite very close. But that is what I've charted on 14 March, right? 1 week previously. So if you manage to nimble, then congrats to you. All right, next is on the Nasdaq. Nasdaq wise, right? You remember I shared out resistance and support. So basically, it broke off the resistance. It's a good sign, but is it a good sign to long now? Not really. Find a good entry point. At least we know that the bullish is still in control. All right, it's a good sign. So good entry point. Then we are good to go for Nasdaq as well. All right. After all, it's an uptrend. Very obvious. All right. After all, it's uptrend. Give me seconds. All right, after all, it's an uptrend, so find a good entry point. Next thing, uh next thing, I'm looking at China A50. I mentioned previously as well, China A50. All right, for China A50, right? uh Remember last week I shared here's the monitor price, but it actually, this is the first support level, resistance support. It bounced on nicely. All right, correct. Let's remove it, bounce off, and then it go up. All right, overall it's still an uptrend. Overall, it's still uptrend. All right. Just that I'm looking at here for a good entry price, but it didn't. It's right now supported by the 40-day moving average, and it bounced up. So will it continue? I'm not sure, but I think overall it still remain uptrend. Just you need to find a good entry point. All right. This is where I'm monitoring, as you can see. All right. I'm looking at somewhere here, then go up. But ultimately, it's risk reverse. All right. So China A50, my view is uptrend. Okay, I'm looking at uh I'm looking at this Semcorp Marine I mentioned 3 weeks ago. This is Singapore shares. Okay, for this, right, people who listen carefully, for this I mentioned before, you can look back 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago. I say that it's worth to nimble, right? It's worth to nimble. I say, where's my comment? Okay, all right. I say it's worth to nimble. Penny counter trade is always risky, but it's worth to nimble for Semcorp Marine. It broke off of last Thursday as well. All right, so it's ascending triangle. I bought somewhere at 0.16, if I remember correctly. Right now, I'm looking for my first target at 20 cents, whole figure. All right, if you have managed to grab it 3 weeks ago, congrats. All right, this is more on buy and hold. I'm holding on to it, not on short-term speculation, but I did give 0.147 is the ultimate support. If let's say it broke below, then we need to cut. Okay, so if you manage to enter, congrats. Next thing is on new counter, the SPN. This is what I'm looking at. Okay, DSPN, you guys can go Google it. Uh, I'm looking at uptrend right now. Okay, came down, broke up, so I'm looking at right with the trend. Okay, look for a good entry price right now. Is above all the moving average, above 100-day moving average as well. So looking for a better signal to go in. All right, so this is what I'm looking at, the SPN. Next, I'm looking at Boeing. This is the counter I'm going to introduce for this week. Boeing ultimately, right? Uh, Economy need to recover. You want to go into airline, you want to go into cruise, totally is fine. But those I prefer to go into Boeing is because they are the one that supply the aircraft, right? And beside that, you guys must understand, ARC, all right, ARC actually got this news ETF, ARC Space. They actually include Boeing as one of their component. It's then around 3.58% some more. So I'm looking at Boeing. All right. Actually, I'm looking at JD as well lah. But because due to economy recovery, I'm looking at Boeing for a better strong point. All right, so looking at a better price, 220. If let's say it can come down, is a good way to limber firstly. All right, Boeing. So this is what I'm looking at for the coming weeks. And lastly, this is for the people who are on the cruise. Good side, bright side, CDC update guidance on the cruise ship industry. So urge for vaccinations, and once everything is good, cruise will begin again. So like I say, economy is going to reopen sooner or later. So you may want to board into the ship before everyone jump into the queue. All right. So that's all for this coming week. If you have not followed, please remember to follow and like my shares my video as well. Thank you everyone. Bye bye.